This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 3rd day of March in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley, thanking you for joining us. Here is what we're tracking tonight. One day after the close of polls, the Guyana Elections Commission is still to release any significant results from yesterday's elections. The Commission called a press conference at noon today, and up to that time it had only completed the tabulation process for 5.9% of the total number of statements of poll. The Chief Elections Officer, Keith Lowenfield, said the statements of poll have been coming in from the regions, but there have been some issues with the statements being sent in a timely manner from some areas.
That barring the hinterland districts, which are still receiving the statements. I dare say the web is very treacherous in Region 8 as we speak. We would have had a declaration of all coastal areas. That is to say, regions 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10.
Lowenfield made it clear that the Elections Commission was in no position to present official results today, and he's hoping that those official results will be presented at the earliest possible time.
As far as the official results by GCOM today, no, that will not be possible. Today, I expect that the declarations of all the ROs within the districts will be done. So my expectation, or the Commission's expectation, is that today on E+1, the returning officers, notwithstanding the geography of their respective districts, will be completing their verifications, as I said, and move to declare their results today.
That earliest possible time is likely to be sometime later on Wednesday or even possibly Thursday. Mr. Lowenfield also believes citizens need to be patient with the Elections Commission as it does its work. He explained that there is a lot of work and procedures that have to be followed in the tabulation of the results, and he noted some challenges. The Chief Elections Officer said there was one case where the presiding officer logged the statement of poll in the ballot box, and that should not have taken place. A process now has to be initiated to retrieve that statement of poll. And on the issue of voter turnout, the Chief Elections Officer said that information would be based on the statements of poll that are being tabulated. He noted that the official results will come from the Guyana Elections Commission only, and persons should be wary of fake news. He also brushed aside reports of one party claiming victory in Trinidad and Tobago. More news coming up in just a moment.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyoil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyoil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
Welcome back. While appealing for citizens to be patient as they await the official results from the Guyana Elections Commission, the chairperson of the commission, Justice Claudette Singh, has declared that GCOM has delivered free, fair, and transparent elections.
The results are trickling in and the process of verification is being conducted. I will leave that to the CEO. The CEO will address you. But what I will tell you, our elections were, as promised, GCOM has delivered free, fair, and credible elections.
At a high noon press conference today, the chairperson of the Elections Commission heaped praise on the Secretariat of GCOM and said the elections went well despite concerns from naysayers.
I have to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to our CEO and his hard-working secretariat. They did a fantastic job. They were working days into nights without realizing nights. They were working during the night. They worked throughout. And I am very appreciative of that fact.
The GCOM chair said members of the public should now be patient with the commission as it tabulates the results that are coming in.
We had a very well-run election, despite all the naysayers and all the many rough areas which we had to endure to get here at this point in time.
Thousands of Guyanese voted in yesterday's elections. There were more than 600,000 persons on the voters list, with more than 2,300 polling stations all across the country. Still with the elections, the American, British, and Canadian envoys to Guyana were among the local observers for Monday's general and regional elections. The American ambassador Sarah Ann Lynch and the British High Commissioner Greg Quinn flew to different parts of the country yesterday with other observers to get a first-hand look at the voting process. The Canadian High Commissioner Lillian Chatterjee remained in Georgetown and visited a number of polling places and the returning officer's location to observe the process. All three of the diplomatic representatives said they observed that the elections were conducted properly, and they offered praise to the Guyana Elections Commission. The three diplomats called for citizens to be patient as the country awaits the results of the elections.
My message is just, to wait and hear the tabulation of the results, and then when the Guyanese people have spoken, to accept those results. And again, I think it was a great day yesterday, and look forward to continued peace as the process goes on.
Any message to the political leaders, to the parties?
I think they also pushed out that message of peace being the most important thing, and clearly people listened. So we look forward to a continued good set of hours and days ahead.
Well, I think, yesterday we went around, we were travelling around several of the regions. We saw what I think was a good process. It was a process that worked the way it was meant to. The staff at the GCOM offices were invariably friendly. Everybody was doing what they did, and all the processes seemed to be in place. So, for example, if somebody turned up without an ID card, the proper process was followed. So I think it went very well. I think now, we're at the stage where everybody's looking for results. The important thing is that, we get the results which are accurate and credible, and that will take a little bit of patience. And I think the message really is for everybody to exercise that patience while GCOM does what GCOM needs to do.
I would like to commend GCOM on a very professional and dedicated system yesterday. Now, like everybody else, like the citizens of Guyana and the rest of the world, we're anxious for the results, and let's hope we get those results as soon as possible.
And they reminded that their governments are ready and willing to work with whoever forms the next government. Well, as Guyanese await the start of the release of the official results by the Guyana Elections Commission, the APNU-AFC coalition is encouraging its supporters and the rest of the country to be patient. The coalition today called on all Guyanese, especially its supporters, to continue to remain calm and to go about their daily activities in a spirit of peace and optimism. APNU-AFC senior member Kathy Hughes.
I want to say to our supporters that this is an important time. This is really Guyana's time, our time to shine. I heard that song this morning. And it means that at this point in time, we want you to be calm. We want you to be safe. There are going to be instigators that are going to try to bring all kinds of negative emotions to the rise. I say you all just stay quiet, be calm, be safe, and let's give GCOM the time that they need to be able to deliver the credible results we expect.
The coalition said all of its internal projections are positive and indicate that the coalition will be returned to government for a second term.
We're extremely confident here at the APNU-AFC camp. We feel that we have done better in some strategic areas. We just heard we won Region 8 handsomely. We are ahead in Region 4 and Region 10 compared to 2015. And so we are waiting patiently. We're doing the right thing. And I just want to assure a lot of our supporters out there that we've spoken in this entire campaign about the fake news. And fake news will continue to come from many different areas, including the opposition.
Officials of the APNU-AFC coalition have been tracking the statements of poll and doing their own tabulations as they await the results from the Elections Commission. The coalition had agents in all 10 regions and in all of the polling stations. President David Granger has said he remains confident of being re-elected. And the People's Progressive Party Civic is also calling for citizens to be calm and patient as the results from the elections trickle in. The PPP said the APNU-AFC coalition is not being truthful about its projections. And according to the General Secretary of the PPP, Barra Jagdeo, he is happy with the results so far that he is seeing based on his party's tabulations.
We feel good at this point in time based on our assessment of the results. We have done the tabulation in the party. We have all the statements of poll, excepting for a few from the hinterland regions, but we had those results called in. And based on our own tabulation, things are looking extremely well for us.
Mr. Jagdeo said that PPP will continue to monitor the release of results by the Elections Commission and will also continue with its own tabulation of results.
I want to be respectful of GCOM and that MOU, and political parties must not go about making their own pronouncements. But as I said before, we have done the numbers and we have seen what the numbers are, and they're unassailable.
The People's Progressive Party was put out of office back in 2015 after losing those elections by just over 4,000 votes, which represented just one seat in Parliament. The party has been expressing confidence of returning to government. Health news to tell you about now. Regional carrier Caribbean Airlines has announced the implementation of several measures to guard against the coronavirus. The move comes as a number of Caribbean countries are stepping up monitoring at their ports of entry. In a statement, Caribbean Airlines said while authorities have not issued travel restrictions to its destinations, it is committed to the health and safety of its crew members and customers, and is working directly with health and security officials as well as industry leaders to keep updated and to ensure that it continues to implement best practice. Caribbean Airlines said it is working to ensure it is well prepared. Among the measures already in place at Caribbean Airlines are the placement of special safety kits on board all aircraft and at its offices, and also the monitoring of air quality in the cabins of the aircraft and its compliance with aircraft cleaning procedures. Employees of the airline are also being equipped with international guidelines on how to deal with suspected cases of the coronavirus. Caribbean Airlines is also permitting persons traveling with onward connections to and from mainland China, Iran, Italy, Japan, South Korea, and Singapore to rebook the Caribbean Airlines travel segment without change fees. The Caribbean region has reported just one case of the coronavirus, and that one case is on the island of the Dominican Republic. Let's tell you now that the Guyana Fire Service was praised for its quick response to a fire in the Lemahawk Gardens area this morning. The fire was contained to the one house, but the inside of the house was completely gutted. The house is owned by businessman Noel Shujatan of Auto Fashion. He was not at home at the time of the fire. A housekeeper was the only one at home when the fire started in one of the bedrooms on the upper flat. She was on the bottom flat. The woman reportedly pulled down the main electrical switch and bolted from the house as the fire quickly crisscrossed its way to the other areas in the upper flat of the building. It is suspected that the fire was electrical in origin. The sister of the homeowner said that the house was occupied by two persons who were not at home at the time. She also confirmed that the housekeeper was downstairs at the time of the fire when it started on the upper flat. The divisional fire officer for operations, Gregory Wickham, said the top floor of the house and its contents were completely destroyed.
When we arrived, we noticed that the top floor of the structure has been fully engulfed in flames, and so they went into operation. Further, we received information that the maid was in the building at the time of the fire. She was on the lower floor, and she heard a booming sound coming from the top floor. When she got upstairs to investigate, she saw fire coming from one of the rooms. And that's where firefighting starts, until we were able to bring the fire under control.
Mr. Wickham said that the work of the firefighters was made easier due to the access to a nearby hydrant.
Kudos to GWI for allowing us to access the water, the hydrant, and getting the water out of it. So that's a good point. So we weren't hindered at all in the firefighting process because of lack of water. We had enough water.
The Guyana Fire Service has launched an investigation into the blaze. Across the region is coming up next.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Falls, a trademark of China's Zhanghao Incorporated, located at Land of Cane in East Bank, Demerara, was incorporated in April of 2013 with over $10 billion Guyana dollars invested in a state-of-the-art 100,000 barrel fuel storage facility, a modern service station, an office complex, and a modern wharf that can berth international vessels. Having no association with any other fuel company, Falls imports its own fuel, which meets quality specifications, has all the legal permits, and is in compliance with international requirements. Its bulk facility can load 8 trucks simultaneously at a rate of 1,000 liters per minute, while the service station can service 12 cars at a time using computerized fuel pumps, which can facilitate the use of ATM cards. Through its professional team of mostly Guyanese, Falls wholesales and retails fuels to the public, including farmers and miners, and will continue to positively contribute to Guyana by providing quality products, service, and attractive prices. Try Falls today for all your fuel needs.
Across the region right now, in neighboring Brazil, at least 18 people have died and more than 40 are missing after torrential rains and landslides hit coastal areas in the states of Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. The death toll is expected to rise further as firefighters and rescue crews are continuing to search for the missing people. Worst hit is Sao Paulo state, where at least 13 deaths have been reported. Among the victims are a mother and her child, as well as 2 firefighters. They were trying to rescue the child who was buried under the rubble when the second landslide hit. In one municipality, a number of houses were swept away by the landslide, and local residents have been helping the firefighters in the search and cleanup operations. The government of the Bahamas says it will erect microgrids on the island of Abaco as the country continues the rehabilitation exercise following the passage of Hurricane Dorian last September, which left damages estimated at $3.4 billion. Speaking on the American television program 60 Minutes, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Hubert Minnis, stressed the urgency of implementing solar power across the islands to better recover from hurricanes that had become much more intensified due to the effects of climate change. He told the program that the Bahamas does not contribute to climate change as much as first world countries do, recalling that in his address to the UN last year, he raised the issue. Asked on the program about the importance of the country changing to renewable energy, the Prime Minister said it is because even though its contribution to climate change is minimal and minuscule to compare with first world nations, it still has a responsibility to do so. And finally tonight, international news. Fighting has resumed in Afghanistan after the Taliban ended a partial truce with government troops, casting doubt on peace talks scheduled for next week. Dozens of incidents in more than 16 provinces left 8 militants and 6 civilians dead, officials have confirmed. 8 security personnel were also killed. Intra-Afghan talks are due to be held as part of a deal signed between the US and the Taliban at the weekend. But the dispute over a prisoner swap has raised questions over the agreement. Under the accord, some 5,000 Taliban prisoners and 1,000 Afghan security force prisoners were to be exchanged by the 10th of March, when talks between the Taliban and the Afghan government are due to start. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.